cover, as it was for nearly all the tech-inclined spies of my cohort. I was sent to Japan, where I helped to design what amounted to the agency's global backup, a massive covert network that ensured that even if the NSA's headquarters was reduced to ash in a nuclear blast, no data would ever be lost. At the time, I didn't realize that engineering a system that would keep a permanent record of everyone's life was a tragic mistake. I came back to the States at age 28 and received a stratospheric promotion to the technical liaison team handling Dell's relationship with the CIA. My job was to sit down with the heads of the technical divisions of the CIA in order to design and sell the solution to any problem that they could imagine. My team helped the agency build a new type of computing architecture, a cloud, the first technology that enabled every agent, no matter where they were physically located, to access and search any data they needed, no matter the distance. In sum, a job managing and connecting the flow of intelligence gave way to a job figuring out how to store it forever, which in turn gave way to a job making sure it was universally available and searchable. These projects came into focus for me in Hawaii, where I moved to take a new contract with the NSA at the age of 29. Up until then, I'd been laboring under the doctrine of need to know, unable to understand the cumulative purpose behind my specialized, compartmentalized tasks. It was only in paradise that I was finally in a position to see how all my work fit together, meshing like the gears of a giant machine to form a system of global mass surveillance. Deep in a tunnel under a pineapple field, a subterranean Pearl Harbor-era former airplane factory, I sat at a terminal from which I had practically unlimited access to the communications of nearly every man, woman, and child on Earth who'd ever dialed a phone or touched a computer. Among those people were about 320 million of my fellow American citizens, who, in the regular conduct of their everyday lives, were being surveilled in gross contravention of not just the Constitution of the United States, but the basic values of any free society. The reason you're listening to this book is that I did a dangerous thing for a man in my position. I decided to tell the truth. I collected internal IC documents that gave evidence of the U.S. government's law-breaking and turned them over to journalists who vetted and published them to a scandalized world. This book is about what led up to that decision, the moral and ethical principles that informed it, and how they came to be, which means that it's also about my life. What makes a life? More than what we say, more even than what we do, a life is also what we love and what we believe in. For me, what I love and believe in the most is connection, human connection, and the technologies by which that is achieved. Those technologies include books, of course, but for my generation, connection has largely meant the internet. Before you recoil, knowing well the toxic madness that infests that hive in our time, understand that for me, when I came to know it, the internet was a very different thing. It was a friend and a parent. It was a community without border or limit, one voice and millions, a common frontier that had been settled but not exploited by diverse tribes living amicably enough side by side, each member of which was free to choose their own name and history and customs. Everyone wore masks, and yet this culture of anonymity through polyonymy produced more truth than falsehood, because it was creative and cooperative rather than commercial and competitive. Certainly, there was conflict, but it was outweighed by goodwill and good feelings, the true pioneering spirit. You will understand, then, when I say that the internet of today is unrecognizable. It's worth noting that this change has been a conscious choice, the result of a systematic effort on the part of a privileged few. The early rush to turn commerce into e-commerce quickly led to a bubble, and then, just after the turn of the millennium, to a collapse. After that, companies realized that people who went online were far less interested in spending than in sharing, and that the human connection the internet made possible